Hello guys, everything alright? My name is Tamiris. I've been working with organic growth hacking for the past decade, essentially. I've already helped over 70 clients worldwide to optimize their website. I've already helped my clients to achieve 68 million additional dollars in their revenue through SEO, automations, and also, of course, conversion rate optimization. So today I'll be talking with you about SearchAtlas. I will do a review with you guys about what are the upsides, downsides, and overall if it is worth it to have these two on your asset. So if you are essentially a web agency working with design, website development, SEO, and also copywriting, I will essentially dissect these two and tell you if I think this is worth it or not. So essentially, I think it was yesterday, a client of mine asked me what I thought about SearchAtlas, and honestly, I never explored the two inside. So I've already, of course, read about it and saw some articles about it, but I never actually took the time to set it up. So we'll be doing that today. So essentially, the biggest claim that they have is that you will save, of course, a lot of time and a lot of manual labor utilizing SearchAtlas. And they target essentially web agencies, right? So this is their target persona. Essentially, their headline here on their pop-up is save 399 days of SEO work with SearchAtlas. So we will be finding out if that's actually true. So the pricing, I think that's a very important piece of information before we explore inside of the two. They have, I think, three main plans over here, which are the starter plan, growth, and pro. They starts off in $99 per month, which is essentially similar to Surfer SEO. I've already recorded a video going through Surfer SEO. So if you want to know more about the two, you can click over here and check it out. So it's basically similar to pricing of an average SEO tool. So for the starter plan, you'll get 5 Google Search Console site projects, 3 automated Google My Business profile, 2 user seats, and essentially they have this auto tool that you can install on one website for this starter plan, which is essentially a snippet of code that you can install on a website, and you can quote unquote implement live some of the changes the SearchAtlas is suggesting without needing to do it manually or without needing a developer. So essentially they are targeting here the more like junior SEO slash content writer expert here. So essentially they are saying that they can implement the changes on the website live with AI without needing any extra access, extra manual labor, or a developer's help. I think most of SEO slash web agencies will likely be fulfilled with actually the growth plan, which is essentially 15 Google Search Console site projects, 10 automated Google business profiles, 2 auto SEO site activations, and they do have some features targeting Google Ads accounts for SEM people. Not quite sure if we'll be exploring a lot about these on this video. And then last but definitely not least, the Pro plan for $399. You get unlimited Google Search Console site project, 25 automated Google business profiles, and 4 essentially sites activation with auto. So now that we know the pricing, we can be sure to understand if it is worth it or not. So let's log in. So essentially here we are inside of SearchAtlas. I am essentially on the free trial. You do need to fill your credit card information for you to be able to essentially test the tool. So just a FYI for you guys. So I want to first explore the features without connecting to Google Search Console, because first of all, I want to understand how good is their database. Second of all, I know that some agencies, they do struggle with getting access to Google Search Console. So I don't think that you will always have Google Search Console access. And actually, if you are doing, for example, prospecting / outreach of new accounts, most likely you won't have Google Search Console, so you can pitch them essentially your services. So I do think that there is a lot of instances that you won't have Google Search Console. So I want to see how well they perform without having access to the website's real data. So I will test it with my client's profile. So they are from Australia. This is their domain. And I want to see what happens when I just do my search. So one thing that I noticed yesterday when I was setting up the free trial is that they are pretty inconsistent with keyword and traffic data. As you can see over here live, I typed my client's URL and they told me that essentially the keywords and traffic is 0, which is of course not true based on the data that I have from my client. And also based on me trying multiple times to recrawl the website, they gave me a different number when I was recrawling. So as you can see, everything here is kind of like zeroed, although my client does have actually a considerable amount of traffic. So they are not like big, but they are around like 1,000 visitors per month, which should be enough for us to have enough information over here without needing to connect Google Search Console on their profile. So this is my first and main concern about the first impressions that I had of SearchAtlas. The fact that maybe for smaller clients or, for example, for the Australian database, they are not very consistent. So this is a very important point because, again, for agencies, we do deal mostly with smaller businesses, like small to medium businesses in terms of SEO traffic. And that's why they are actually hiring our services, right? So if SearchAtlas is not able to essentially bring high quality data about websites that have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 visitors per month, then this is very concerning. Or if they are not able to have a good database in Australia, they should be more transparent upfront about these potential limitations, right? They do have, besides the overview, also this topical dominance. So what I will do here to test this feature is that I will actually utilize their suggestion of who is the main competitor over here, which is this one, for this topical dominance feature. Can take a bit, so if it takes a lot of time, I will make sure to skip this part and get back to you guys whenever it's done. Okay, so we have over here essentially this data, and this data is supposed to tell us essentially what are the main topics regarding our client's website versus potential competitors, and who is quote unquote more relevant in terms of the overall topic coverage, right? So over here, essentially they listed sole trader company, sole trader versus other structures, business coaching Melbourne, business coaching Sydney, end of financial year, start of financial year, and financial year in general. So my take on this one is that I don't think the data over here is relevant. And again, it could be the fact that I'm utilizing a niched website, smaller website, and they are not able to essentially bring me a lot of insights when the quote-unquote sample size is small. But this is most likely what you will find with most of your clients, because usually we don't have clients that have over, for example, 10,000 users coming every month. At least the whole purpose of SearchAtlas is to target agencies that are essentially small to medium agencies that are essentially working with small to medium businesses as well. So most likely you won't get a lot of 20, 30, 40K users per month websites. So I'm utilizing a website here that is the average client that most of web and SEO agencies will get. So I don't think this data brings me any insight, to be very transparent with you. So essentially they are saying that the competitor over here is more relevant for business consulting, business structures, and maybe accounting, because there is, again, not enough data to provide this insight. They also have this chart that is saying essentially for business structures, there is more topical authority for the competitor. But this doesn't tell much to me. If the competitor is bigger, then I can intuitively say that they are more relevant. Especially if we are essentially taking such a broad topic like business structure. This could mean 1,000 things, honestly. So I didn't like much this topical dominance feature, essentially. I don't think it brings any value to the table. Then we have the organic keywords, and again, everything is zeroed. So what I will do is that I will type again my client's domain over here, and hopefully this time we will be able to actually get some data over here. Yeah, now finally we got the data. As I told you guys, I don't know why the behavior is so inconsistent, because on the first time that I typed, nothing happened. When I changed tab, nothing happened. And then when I did my search on the keyword tab, then finally I have real data over here. The data is not so far from the truth, which is good. I do think that they did a decent job over here at essentially estimating the traffic without having the Google Search Console account connected. And the view over here is quite similar to SEMrush or Ahrefs. We do have information about current and previous positions, difference, SERP, features, essentially people also ask, site links, feature snippet, traffic estimation, monthly search volume, CPC. Most of the CPC are zeroed over here. But this is something that also happens on Ahrefs, for example, so I'm not very concerned. Keyword difficulty, the URL, and SERP feature, essentially the percentage of keywords for which an analyzed domain ranks in each SERP feature. So they are essentially telling what are the SERP features that my client is essentially ranking for with that particular keyword. So this is quite similar to Ahrefs. Then paid traffic, I know my client doesn't do much of it, so it's actually true that they are probably zeroed or close to zero. Then we can go down to pages, similar vision than we have also on SEMrush, Ahrefs, and all these all-in-one SEO tools for organic keywords on a particular page, paid keywords, estimated traffic, and also backlinks over here. So essentially we have 0, but in theory we could take a look at all of them active, new, and lost backlinks over here. Then we have subdomains. My client, they don't have essentially subdomains. Position changes, so very similar to SEMrush's. Interesting, like new or lost or etc. Backlinks, similar to Ahrefs and also SEMrush's. Competitors, similar to the chart that we have on Ahrefs and also SEMrush. And then we have some ads over here. I won't go through that because my client doesn't do ads, essentially. And I don't think this is the main purpose of SearchAtlas. I think the main purpose is SEO and maybe a bit of SEM, but like Facebook ads, I don't know if that's very relevant for web agencies. So we do have keywords over here, so we can do kind of like a keyword research exercise. One thing that I did is that I utilize a keyword that I know that has like more search volume, so Miami catering, for example. And then I also utilize United States as the database because usually this is where we get higher quality data regarding keywords, right? So here they have the keyword difficulty, which is medium, CPC, $3, competitive density, which is like how competitive it is, average monthly searches, SERP features, topical search volume. So here we got a 0. Topical search volume is refers to the number of searches conducted for a specific topic or theme over a given period, unlike keyword search volume, which focuses on the frequency of searches for a particular keyword or phrase. Topical search volume encompasses all related searches within a broader topic idea. For example, healthy eating includes searches for, and sorry, my face is over here. Include searches for nutrition tips, balanced diet, healthy recipes, and similar searches. So for me, Miami catering, I don't think it is such a niche topic that we couldn't have any data about any like topical search volume, because for example, we could have a search volume regarding catering or catering in Florida or types of catering as well. So again, I don't know, like the data doesn't seem to be quite there yet, at least not in my perception. Traffic potential, 124K. Let me check what is the period that they are analyzing over here. The total estimated search volume accumulated from all keyword variations, related keywords, and questions associated with the primary keyword. This metric reflects the combined organic traffic potential for a website if it ranks in the top position for all one potential keywords. I do think this is inflated because the search volume is 2.9K. And even if we say that there are a lot of like long tails over here for Miami catering, I do think this is more on the optimistic side. I would most likely say maybe I don't know, like 40K-ish. So again, I don't think the data is quite there yet. This is quite similar to Ahrefs. Even the graph is very similar to their like UI. Related keywords, questions, monthly clicks. Yeah, do you see like how inconsistent it is? Like right here, monthly clicks, even though they estimated like 124 traffic potential, then over here, if you get the first position for Miami catering, then you get like 22 clicks and it will be worth $0. The data is insane, guys. Like, honestly, I wouldn't trust these two to do like serious work. Because for me, this is the bread and butter, like search volume, CPC, estimated traffic, ranking keywords, etc. This is the bread and butter for SEO. So if you're not able to nail this, how can I even justify spending $99 when I can spend $99 on Surfer SEO, or I can spend, I think it's $99 for Ahrefs, for example, and I think Ahrefs is such a more like rounded tool for SEO than Surfer SEO. And I do have my criticism about Ahrefs database as well, but this one is like bananas. It doesn't make any sense. Then they mention advertisers, EasyCater. I know this is actually a very relevant player on this niche. And then they say log in to see all results. I am logged in, so I don't know what this means, honestly. Let me check if there are any other like interesting elements here. They do have a content writer slash AI content writer. I did test this out yesterday. I tested essentially the on-page audit for Scale, a marketing agency, which is an article of my client. They gave me a content score. This is similar to Surfer SEO. Again, I have a video about this linked over here. Surfer SEO is a way better content SEO tool than the experience that I'm having with SearchAtlas. I don't know if they utilize the same like API from Surfer SEO, but this seems quite similar to the overall structure that I saw on the tool. The data is slightly better over here. Yeah, so for content, I think they are semi-good, but again, I would suggest Surfer SEO, honestly. If you want me to go through like all the content on SearchAtlas, like the content tab, then you can leave a comment down below. I don't think this is the main purpose of the video, since I'm talking to SEO and web agencies. But if you are curious to know the quality of the content that their content genius slash like AI content agent, then I can explore these on another video. I don't think this is the main purpose of today's video. So they do have this feature of SEO audit, and I test this out for my client without again connecting to Google Search Console. They did give me some suggestions that made sense in terms of what they identified as areas of potential optimization. But then the suggested fix, I didn't like it. I didn't like the quality. It sounds a lot like AI. I don't know if it gets better when I connect essentially Google Search Console so you can understand a bit more about the business. But I didn't like the suggestions. I wouldn't recommend this as, for example, a replacement of a junior SEO analyst or a junior copywriter, for example. So for example, they have over here Meet Tristan, which is like a page about my client. They are a business coach. So current title is Meet Tristan, Evolve to Grow. And then the suggested fix is like Tristan's journey, transform your business today with Evolve. there is no relevance. Like, I don't think it is relevant, Tristan's journey. I don't think anybody will be searching for that. I don't think people are necessarily interested on that. So I don't know. Then over here, for how to scale a marketing agency, it identified that the title is too big, which I agree. Usually we want to keep it below 70 characters, of course. So how to scale a marketing agency, proven strategies for sustainable growth, and then the name of the company. That's one of the reasons why it is a bit lengthy. And then they suggested to change it for proven strategies to scale your marketing agency for growth, which is, again, sounds like an AI. It doesn't sound very catchy. It actually changed the primary keyword, because the primary keyword is how to scale a marketing agency, and essentially it divided the keyword into scale your marketing agency and then like growth. I didn't like it, honestly. This is like my final takeaway. It sounds too much like AI, doesn't sound too relevant to me. So this is my final perception without connecting to Google Search Console. So right now I will connect to Google Search Console so we can understand if it gets better. So I connected to my Google Search Console. I'm utilizing the same client so we can understand if insights get better. It takes 5 to 15 minutes, so I will pause the video and I will wait and I will get back when it is finished. But one thing about SearchAtlas is that it does take a while to load some of the data, as you guys could see on essentially the previous view. And also with my own experience, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes to load information, even like basic keyword related information sometimes. So I do feel this delay on the two. Anyways, I will wait for this to load and I will get back to you. So guys, I'm back. Now we finally have the data over here. And as you can see, it is quite different than the data we got when we tried the unlocked version, right? So over here we have around 15K, which is the real data. 6K keywords. We did grow in the past month, so that's actually true. We did have a lot of keywords improving. I did like this vision over here. It's quite intuitive. Position 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 10, etc. They do have these kind of like clusters, and they are essentially evaluating the number of keywords on that on those particular clusters, which is interesting. They have kind of like this prediction of what they think that will be the result based on the previous period. Okay. They have some sitemap evaluation over here. Let me bring myself to the right. Pages. So page quality, right? They have this SEO potential metrics, so economic value of the page and also organic traffic potential. Search impressions, total keywords. Top keyword, This is interesting. The page grouping still not done yet, so we'll have to wait. Then selecting a particular page, apparently I can run an on-page audit of this page. This is the visualization of the performance of this page, like historical data. Then we can select a keyword and run an on-page audit, which is interesting. What else? Site events. Then I have to apparently add Google Analytics, I think. Oh no, I can like take notes of particular events that happen, like take notes of what I did, so a particular optimization, and then I can keep track of everything based on a particular date. So essentially, if I want to, for example, log that a core update happened on Google when we had a pretty positive traffic growth correlated to this core update, I could do that on this view over here. Here I can see essentially the structure of the website, divided into directories, which I think is nice. Like this view is nice. Reports, still in beta, on beta. Does look nice. Then you do have this option to white label their software. So essentially you can add a custom URL, your logo, add a DNS record to a domain, and you can kind of like host as if this whole like software experience is actually something that you developed, which is interesting for essentially build more authority with your client, so they can perceive you as an expert instead of thinking that, for example, they can use the tool themselves. So this is an interesting feature as well for agencies. I do have my conclusions, okay? So my conclusions are: is SearchAtlas worth it? I would say mostly no, except for one particular use case. So I did notice that they are very good at essentially offering data visualization that is more organized, centralized, and even like more client facing, like client ready. So they are very good at doing that, more user-friendly than most of SEO tools, such as Screaming Frog, such as Ahrefs. Even some features of SEMrush are not that friendly to people that don't know a lot about SEO. So I do think that they do a pretty good job on data visualization, building dashboards, showing results for the client. So if it is a junior person manipulating these, or even your client, if they have access essentially to the dashboard by connecting with Google Search Console, they can have pretty interesting insights. So only if you have access to Google Search Console, only if you don't have a web analytics person on your team, or a person that is very good at building Looker Studio, or building a nice spreadsheet, or Power BI or any other type of potential data visualization, then it might be worth the shot. But I would most likely not recommend for like 80 to 90% of the features that they have here. And the main reason why is because SearchAtlas doesn't seem to have a very good database, and or they don't seem to be treating the data too much. So it seems like raw data, not very trustworthy data. And all the optimization features, like we correct your metadata, meta title, meta description, heading tags, blah, blah, blah. They are very AI, so there is, again, not a layer of treatment, a layer of personalization that will replace, for example, a junior analyst on your team. So the main value of SearchAtlas is connecting to Search Console to have better data visualization, at least for the moment, so like April 2025. That's the main value of the two. And I do think that if you have a somewhat experienced analyst, or maybe like a nice Looker Studio template, that could be like a good alternative that would essentially not justify paying $99 per month for SearchAtlas. But if you don't have a person that is good with data or building dashboards, then it could be an interesting option for you, especially because they have this white label feature. So if you're a web agency or an SEO agency that want to grow fast, smart, with better systems, tools, and AI coding, then you can book a call with me on the link down below. I already helped over 20 agencies to grow from around 20 to 50K per month, all the way up to 200 to 500K per month, with better SEO and also better web systems. So I already built my own tools. I have a team that is specialized on building automations, AI coding, and I already had experience with hiring over 20 different SEO professionals and also training more than 30 different SEO professionals. So if you want to know more how you can be more efficient and therefore scale your agency with better systems, then make sure to book a call with me down below. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, you can subscribe to my channel, and I see you on the next one. Cheers!